series right now that I did with my friend Lana, who wanted to focus on hamstrings. So this is an important muscle that a lot of people tend to neglect, and with runners, we tend to overwork the front of the thighs and the hamstrings don't get the attention they need. So you will need either a ball, or you can fold a pillow or a cushion, or just find something that you can squish. And you don't want it too small, because then that's going to make it much harder for you. So we're going to start priming the hamstrings and getting them to fire before we come into the full exercises. So you're going to lie on your side. You're going to place the ball behind the top knee. Lie yourself down, hand underneath the head, other hand here. And all you're going to do here is squeeze the ball. Squeeze. And as you squeeze that ball, you want to connect the back of the leg, squeezing, pulling the waistline in. And you're going to do about 8 to 10 of these. Squeeze. Okay, so I'm just going to do a couple for the video, but at home you want to do 8. Then you want to hold that squeeze as much as you can, keeping as much length at the waist as possible, and the leg is hip height. You're going to kick it forward for 2. You go 1, 2, keep the squeeze and stretch the thigh back, keeping the hips stacked. 1, 2, keep the squeeze, stretch the leg back. And same thing, you can do 8 of these. I'm just going to do 2 more. That's 2, and you click, click, and last one for me there. Good. Now from there, we're going to turn on to the other side. So this is getting back to the, I can already feel it there, just straightening my leg. Let's do the other side. So it's important that while doing this, you keep the waist long. We tend to sink into it. You want to keep the hips stacked, waist long. Leg, watch your knee. Our knees tend to get a bit lazy and they drop down. You want to keep it hip height. If anything, the chances are you may need to turn it slightly to the ceiling. And we just squeeze. Make sure it's there nicely. And you squeeze, keeping the length. As you squeeze the ball, you pull the waistline in. So you're going to do 8 on this side too. Squeeze and squeeze. I'm just going to do 1 more. You do 8 at home. And then hold the squeeze as much as you can. Pulse forward. 1, 2. Keep the length at the waist. And 1, 2. Nice trick is to push down through the bottom leg to keep the lift at the waist. And I'm just going to do 2 more. 1, 2. And squeeze back. Good. Now from there, now that you've got that primed, you're going to lie on your stomach. So you're going to pop this out the way. You're going to lie down on your tummy. Hands stacked underneath the forehead. Okay. So we want to pull the waistline in. Press the forearms into the mat to draw the shoulder blades down. And you're going to kick one heel to the butt 2 times. You go squeeze, squeeze, stretch it away. And then change sides, squeezing the back of the leg. And stretch. And as you squeeze it, you want to keep the rest of the body still as possible. And squeeze, squeeze, stretch it away. Squeeze, squeeze, stretch. Also a total of 8. Squeeze, squeeze, stretch, and squeeze, squeeze, stretch. 1 more to make it even. Pressing the pubic bone into the floor. Now from there, we're going to bring the legs together. If your hips are quite tight, then an option is to turn the knees out a little bit. If you can, for a deeper contraction and to challenge yourself a bit more, you bring the knees together. But this can be really challenging for some people. So you just bring them in only as far as is comfortable. So you're going to kick the heels to the butt now 3 times and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and stretch it away. So as you're squeezing, you're really squeezing into these back of the legs here. 1, pull this down. 2, 3, and stretch. And we got, you want to do a total of 8. 2, 3, and stretch. I'm just going to do 1 more. Squeeze the butt, pull the stomach, lengthen the spine, and stretch. And then from there you press up and you stretch back. So you should already feel the backs of the legs are working. And then curling up.